All right, so today I want to go over an article from Keeping Current Matters. It's called or titled The Risks of Selling Your House on Your Own. And this article, it actually gives three reasons or three risks of selling your house on your own. And this is more geared toward the financial side and the stress side or mental health side of it as well. But I did want to give you actually a bonus reason of a potential risk selling your house on your own or without a real estate agent. So, if you have been thinking about selling your house for sale by owner because you want to save some on commissions, et cetera, et cetera, I completely understand where you're coming from because if you're thinking, hey, I don't want to pay 3% for a listing agent to sell my house, I'll just save myself 3% and try to find the buyer on my own. Well, that may or may not be beneficial to you. The statistics out there say that you will actually not end up netting as much money. And there's several reasons why. And this article kind of digs into it a little bit, with the first reason being that you may not price it right. So pricing your house right is the key to a successful sale. If a house is priced right, even in today's market where as of yesterday, so I'm recording this Thursday, October 19th, as of yesterday, the national average for the 30-year fixed rate mortgage hit 8%. So you need to keep in mind how you're pricing your home, what you're basing it off of. You may say, oh, well, my neighbor's house sold for, this price in, the summer leading up to 2022 or, in 2021. Those are different markets than now. You need to use your current data and you may have access to that, maybe you don't, but you need to price your home right. Not only to get it under contract quickly, but then to make sure that once it's under contract, if it's getting financed, by a bank, for example, then it's going to have to appraise. So even if, the house is worth $250,000 and you say, hey, we're listing this for $300,000, first of all, chances are you're probably not going to get many offers at that price, if any. You might not even get any showings if you're pricing it incorrectly. But secondly, even if you do get that needle in the haystack buyer there, the challenge that you'll have to overcome is that if a third-party appraiser comes over and they say, hey, this house is only worth $250,000, you either are going to have to reduce your sale price by $50,000 in that example. The buyer will have to come up with money out of pocket to make up the entire difference, or obviously you can come to some sort of agreement in the middle. But without that, then that deal is going to die and it's going to go back on market. So you have to price your home right. If you overprice your home, then they're honestly going to just ignore it, to be fair, or to be honest there. You don't have as much experience in marketing the house. This is the second reason why KCM thinks that it's a mistake or it's a risk of selling your house on your own. Because if you don't know how to market a house, if you don't take good photos, or in my case, I always pay a professional photographer to take photos, to take drone photos, depending on the house, we'll do videos, stuff like that. But it doesn't make sense to try to maximize your listing, like the amount of eyeballs on your house, and take crappy, whether it's iPhone, Android photos, anything like that. If you don't take the right photos, that is literally the first impression that potential home buyers are going to see for that house. And if they can't see everything, or if it's not touched up, or if it's not staged correctly, then those potential buyers that might have been a good fit for your home are just going to walk away, or they're not going to give it a shot. So that's the other thing. So honestly, just between the first two, if you don't price it right and if you have bad photos, then basically you're not going to reach nearly as broad of an audience And eventually that listing, if you even list it on the MLS, is going to be stale. People are going to be wondering what's wrong with the property. You're going to have to do price drops. You're going to be chasing the market down, and then people are still going to lowball you because now that house has been on the market for 30 days, 60 days, whatever. And the average days on market in our area is still in the teenager phase, where we're looking at 14, 15 days on average for a house to sell, and the median is even lower than that. So the median is less than 10 days in our area. And then lastly, you may not be comfortable handling all the back and forth. This just comes with negotiation. So basically, this is your largest asset. For most people, you don't have more money in the bank or retirement account or anything like that. Your home is your largest asset for most people. You don't buy and sell a house every day or every month or every year even. So you may not be comfortable handling the back and forth, the negotiations of seeing what's realistic, what's not. Sometimes you are too emotionally attached to the home. Sometimes you need a buffer between, the buyer's agent or the buyer. If they say something and you blow it out of proportion, basically, or if you're just not sure what is common practice, what should I be pushing back on, what should I, maybe give a little bit on what's fair and what's not. If you're not comfortable with that, it could also cause a lot of mental and emotional instability where you are just stressed out to the max, because moving is already very stressful. You handling the negotiations is just going to make it that much worse. So, looking at an inspection report, dealing with the appraiser, dealing with the other real estate agent, so on and so forth, the paperwork for the title. If you have nobody that you can bounce any ideas off of, or if you have any questions, you don't know where to go to, it's just going to compound that stress for you. And then lastly, so they only gave these 3 items right here, these 3 reasons for why it might be riskier selling your house on your own. The 4th one that I would say, and this is a legitimate potential concern, is for safety and security. So as a real estate agent, when I put a house up for sale in our MLS, our multiple listing services, I set up when people can see your house at specific times, and you would still have to approve it if that's what you wanted to do. If it was vacant, then we could make it a quote unquote go and show. But basically, the only people that are able to see that house are licensed agents. So to become a real estate agent, you're not allowed to have any felonies. You're already vetted. But to actually see that house, a licensed agent is going to be there showing that property. Or if a buyer who's unrepresented calls, I would be there showing that property on your behalf. If you're the owner and you just put a for sale by owner sign up in your yard, basically anybody can call you. Your phone number's out there. They know that, you don't know who's going into your house or anything like that. They could be a serial killer for all you know. So there is a risk in regards to safety and security there that, maybe you, especially if you have family living there with you, maybe you don't want to take that on. And it might be well worth paying, a listing agent, somebody there to represent you and have your fiduciary, basically be a fiduciary for you, represent you. So that's the risk of selling your home on your own. If you have any questions, feel free, let me know. Obviously, some people are more than capable of selling their house on their own. Negotiating is not a problem. They know how to price things, but ultimately you're trying to get as much exposure out there as possible. So if you don't know how to market, how to properly advertise your home, then really how much are you actually saving if you saved 3% in commissions, but you cost yourself, $15,000 or, whatever the number ends up being because you decided to sell it on your own. And that's it for me today. My name is Caleb Barney, by the way. I am a real estate agent with Russell Real Estate Services. I'm located in Strongsville, grew up in the Medina area, but I serve all of Northeast Ohio. I'm looking at Lake County, Cuyahoga, Medina, Lorain, Summit, and Wayne County as my main areas that I focus on. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a great day.